The stories that are most important to us are stories about me, you, and others. Such stories are about politics, economy, landmark achievements, institutions, sports, and entertainment. Good morning to you if you are watching from United States of America. Good afternoon if you're watching anywhere from Africa, particularly Nigeria. Good afternoon if you're also watching from United Kingdom. And you're welcome to yet another edition of your program. First of all, I want to apologize that we're coming a little bit late, a little bit behind schedule because we're supposed to start like about 6-7 minutes ago, but because of some technical issues, that we're able to reconcile anyway. So you're welcome to another edition of the program, Your Opinion. Today is going to be about my opinion. It's going to be about your opinion. And on what are we talking about today? The same topic that we had last week, and is the full team in the house today. Quickly, don't forget, my name is Valentine Bengola Sende. I am the anchor, the host, and the producer of the program. And in case you want to be a part of this program, maybe you want to send a message or you want to sponsor a program, you want to advertise on this program, please call me on the number that is on your screen, and we can talk. And you also have maybe anything that you want to discuss with us, please be a part of the program. Just call me and then we can talk, or you can just send a chat, and I'm going to get back to you. I have in the house today, in the studio with me, the team, so to say. Let me just quickly introduce them. Oremi, how do you do today? Good morning.
I am great. Thank you. Good morning to you as well.
Again. Good to see you again.
Good to see you too.
And also I have in the house Eniola. How you doing, Eniola?
I'm doing good. Hello, Val. How are you today?
Very well.
Always nice to be here.
And to balance the team, I have Mark in the house. Mark, how do you do today?
I'm good, Val. It's a beautiful day out here.
Yeah, it is a very, very beautiful morning here too. So, guys, quickly, can we just quickly run through your experience during the week? Let's start first of all with the ladies. So I'll go first with Oremi.
My week was busy. When is it not busy? It was filled with travels. It felt like I was on the go for many days. Yes, from US to UK to Canada. So just still trying to settle down a little bit. So been on the road, in the air quite a bit. That's been my week.
On the road, should I say that you drove from America to UK? You drove.
I mean, it's possible. It could just take me a long time. I said road, air, meaning yes, yeah.
So
it's been a combination.
What were you doing gallivanting, jolly popping around? What exactly?
Not gallivanting. I wish I was gallivanting. Mostly work and visiting family and work. And taking care of a few things.
Vacation.
I wish it was a vacation, but Just
Workation.
relax.
I coined the term
Oh,
for
did you
that.
say
Workation.
vocation?
Yeah.
Workation. Ah, that's a nice term. I like that. Work and vacation.
Uh-huh.
Okay,
Yeah.
I like that.
Okay, nice to hear that from you. Eniola, how's been your week? Sunday
Oh,
through
mine has
Saturday.
been void of any vocation whatsoever. It's just been it's not been much of a fun this last week, I would say. But I did one fun thing though, apart from regular work and all that. And that was I had a walk in the park. You know, there's this famous forest park here in St. Louis. So yeah, I was able to just like have this casual strolling down the park, you know, around the park with a friend. And I would say it was really like a relaxing thing for me. I would call that the highlight of my week.
Oh, that's awesome. That sounds like fun.
Yeah, I don't know why everybody is shying away from talking about work. Anyway, if you guys want to talk about it, maybe Mark is going to tell us about some work pressure. People always want to avoid. They're always talking about the pleasure, but let's talk about the pressure too. So,
We are
Mark,
tired.
Yeah, I'm one of those that that is actually in the work pressure thing too. Like I do a double. I work with the state, and I do my thing on the side as a professional photographer. So it's a lot of pressure for me, and throughout the week I was able to. I think I did about 4 or 5 photo shoot for my clients, and if you go on my page, it's evident there because I post virtually people celebrating their birthdays on my social media handle. So, and to get these things done, like it's not easy, especially when you have a full time job and you have a side hustle. But for my side hustle, sometimes I usually refer to it as my primary job because I do a lot with that as compared to my job working with the state of Maryland.
I don't know. Mark is hiding something. Thank God he's even talking about his main job because Mark has, I don't even know which one is the regular job now between the state job and his passion. Passion turned to business. So I don't even, but
Hey,
Mark actually, if he doesn't want to talk about it, I mean, I'll just leave it. But Mark has a very big state job. He doesn't like to talk about it. Why? I do not know.
If you want me to, I can really just go a bit into it for the sake of letting some people know. Like we are custodians of criminals, and my major job,
There you go.
my major job is taking criminals to court. So what we do is we pick them from the various jails in Baltimore City, and we take them to court. Like we handle 5 courts in the city, three courts at the districts, and 2 circuit courts in the city of Baltimore. So it's not easy when you have to go pick up these young dudes, not just young ones too. Some of them are already incarcerated. Some of them are standing trial. Some of them are about to go into jury trials and all that. So it's our responsibility to ensure they meet their court dates and all that. So, and this job is actually a risky job because we are weapon carrying officers. So, and we carry these weapons
You are
every day.
weaponized.
So we carry these weapons every day, hoping one day something might just come up. So, but I pray nothing will come up.
Nothing will.
I have six
Nothing,
more
Amen.
years to go.
nothing should come up.
but
Nothing.
that, it must be
Amen.
so tough seeing those younger ones you
Mhm.
talked about, right? It must
It's
really be tough.
I'm telling you, it might be a topic for the future, but it's a
Mm,
tasking job, especially with this rude young uh, guys coming in fresh from the
The,
street and all that. So
wow.
it's not easy, but I give God the glory. It's 14 years now. I have 6 more years to go.
Awesome.
And
You're
like I
a
said,
veteran already.
like I said, a lot of people will just see him, shooting photograph. They will know he's a big man. He's a big man with the state. I'm telling you, somebody who has
because
invested
Uh,
14 or 16 years into serving the state. And I want to quickly ask you this, maybe for the benefit of those that are watching, how how has it been? If you look at the recent years, you know, juvenile delinquency. Gone are the days where criminality is usually seen maybe among adults, you know. Now, in fact, there was one that I saw on TV, was it 2 or 3 days ago? A 10-year-old boy stole a car and was driving and was chased by police officers. Now, if you look at DMV particularly, there's practically somebody killed every other day now, in that maybe carjacking, you know, stores being shoplifted and all that, and then a lot of violence, people fighting. Guys, what do you think is the problem? The rampancy of these things now. What do you think is the problem? What are we not doing, or what are we doing wrong?
If I should start, like this is something I actually
It's not the
pondered.
topic for today. It's just
Uh,
both of you.
so I can just go into it a little bit, and I would start by saying the background of these young lads. If we go into looking into how these guys were actually brought up, it's one of the major problems. Like parents don't do what they're supposed to do. That's one of the major reasons why this criminal activities is kind of common, and especially in the city of Baltimore, where these young lads are actually trying to look up to either some certain people in the society or what their parents have actually done in the past. Because some of these people they take pride in going to jail. Their father's been there, their mother's been there. Some of them have both parents in jail, so the jail is
Oh,
nothing to them. So they want to like, oh, they want. To me, I feel they want to have a feel of what the jail is like. So they go into these criminal activities so they can be jailed, so they can have an experience. So to me, it's like a game, but it's actually
game.
affecting the society adversely so bad. Like so many things are going wrong, so many things are people kind of fear for their life because the rate of killings and the rate at which people are kind of being incarcerated nowadays is just so alarming. So
Or
it's,
what's your own opinion?
Yeah, so two things that come to mind because we deal with this in my city as well. Every day there are about three, four shootings, deaths every day as a result of gun violence. The two things that come to mind, in my opinion, are the lack of culture. We have lost, culture has lost value in the society. And I don't mean to say this, but I will say it because I think it's relevant and it's one of the conversations that we have on an ongoing basis. If you notice with a lot of the young people who are perpetrating these crimes, right? Most of them, and correct me if I'm wrong, Prince Mark, but most of them, probably 99% of them, are non-Africans. I say that for a reason. The way we were brought up, we were not brought up to kill each other. We're not brought up to have guns. We are not brought up to certain things because you have a community behind you. I am a mother of three. When my kids start acting up, they know that that auntie, that uncle will come and they will squeeze their butts. They know that before I get to them, somebody else will get to them. But in America, we live in an individualistic society where this is my child. You don't get to talk to my child. So that's number one, the absence of culture, the absence of a village. Number two, parents are so busy working to put food on the table, to provide a shelter and all of that. So back in the day, women stayed home with their children while the husbands, the men, go out to hunt, go out to work. Now, women are even working more.
Okay, Remy, we're going to get to that because that is part of the topic that the role of women is part of what we're saying because I'll soon put up the topic for today. So, Eniola, very quickly, your opinion about this juvenile delinquency in this generation,
Of course.
very
So
quickly.
I would say my opinion is really not far from what Prince and Remy said. Actually, from my own experience and like would I say relations with most people here in the country, I would say there is the cultural value is missing, and there is this thing that I would say back in Africa where I'm from, there's a stigmatization around going to prison and all that, and people want to try as much as possible to avoid that, right? But when you are in a society that they make you look like normal, like Mark, like Prince just, talked about, like, oh, everyone just want to have a feel of it. It's really, it waters down the impact of even the judicial system trying to like curb crime and all that. Like you are trying to stop them from doing it, but they're kind of not worried. There's no the cultural values around it, like Oremi said, is not something that is supporting what maybe the government or every other let's say non-governmental organization is trying to do. An example briefly is when I was recent when I first moved into St. Louis, I wasn't at a train station one day and I met this guy, and the way he approached me was started talking, asked for my number, and they were like, okay, he asked me to put my number on his phone, and I was, what is this? So he said, oh, he didn't even know how to operate phone. I should just do it for him. That I just got out. Like he was saying, he just got out. I did not know where. He was saying with so much pride, and this. I just got out. Then I had to ask my friend, what does he say? He just got out of prison. So I felt somehow like if it's back in Africa where I'm from, he would not even want to say that. He would not want to brag about something like that. But here we are, people making it, you know what, I just got out and it's a big deal. So I think that's one of the reasons we are having a lot of crimes. People are not worried or people don't feel stigmatized about going to prison anymore. So whatever it is, some people even think it's free meal. You're gonna get free meal, free accommodation. So when it's societies like that, I wanna tell you it's something else. My opinion, bro.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for that. I mean, sometimes we have to just bend a little bit from some of the content that we have planned, so that we can just quickly. I mean, it's so appalling for somebody to just feel like, okay, it should become something hereditary. You see the way Mark said it, because your parents have been into jail. You too, you want to break their record so that you can set another record. And then when I hear about this homecoming, oh, people are doing, they say, oh, he's doing, what do they call that thing, when you come from jail? Is homecoming, right? I don't know. It's very appalling. All right, guys, if you're just joining, the program is Your Opinion, where we discuss economy, politics, culture, religion, everything, but from your own perspective. So what's your own opinion about what we're going to talk about today? So very quickly, we will be taking a short break. When we come back, the topic will roll. That is going to be after discussing possibly the most trending thing in America today. What is that thing that is most trending? You won't know until when we get back. Let's quickly go on this short break. When we come back, the show will continue. The stories that are most important to us are stories about me, you, and others. Such stories are about politics, economy, landmark achievements, institutions, sports, and entertainment. All right, you're welcome back. If you have been with us and if you're just joining, the program is Your Opinion, and it's a podcast, a live podcast from Unicorn Television, hosted and produced by Valentine Bengola Sande. And I have in the studio great man and great gentlemen and ladies Sometimes let's just even enjoy being in front. Ladies first, after men. All right, very quickly, what is the topic we're discussing about today? It's a topic that some of you you were part of it last Saturday, and I'm bringing it back today. Now, I'm going to bring back my participants so that we can quickly just do justice to this topic. The topic, which is the part two anyway, is the new generation woman. And I want us to focus on the new generation woman, not just the woman, the new generation, the artificial intelligence generation, the wig wearing woman, the one that fixes wigs. Everything about this generation is the false generation. You don't even know anybody's statistics anymore because you don't know if it is adopted or adapted, whether it is, then we're now looking at Oremi, that your smile says a lot. So
I
we're
have a
looking
lot to say, that's why.
so this generation of women, are they a threat to man? And then we're going to be looking closely at single parenting. We're going to be looking at divorce. We're going to be looking at career. We're going to be looking at freedom and independence, because that is actually what every or most women desire these days. So this time around, I'm going to turn the table and I'm going to start with a man. Mark, the new generation woman, is she a threat to man?
Wow, that's a big question because with the with the happenings of today, I would say to some extent yes, because we are fast drifting away from that. Should I use the word sacrilege? The word that thing called marriage. Like we are fast drifting away from it. Like marriage does not seem to look like what it should look like. Marriage is something that people look forward to getting into. Like, where we grew up from, and, at a certain age, your parents are like, hey, what's happening? I need to carry my grandchild. I need to carry my whatever. So, and that marriage of a thing is what is actually bonding two people with different ideologies, but would later come to like blend and, with the existence of love within them and all that. So, but the marriage thing, which is actually holding both the male and the female, is not actually happening nowadays. And even when it happens, it doesn't last. So a lot of divorces, a lot of whatever is out there today. And the reason too, we kind of have to talk about, which is why do people prefer to be separated? Like, is it a good thing? And which is actually the topic for today. So my take is it's a kind of threat to men because the women folks, they are looking at marriage from a different perspective. As in nowadays, like, hey,
The new generation woman.
yes, the new generation, they see it as something like I don't know how to actually describe it, but it's not really working the way it should, and that is actually giving it away to the single parenting thing we're discussing this morning. So like the value to marriage is gone. People people of the ladies of nowadays don't place that important value to marriage, and
So,
that
Mark,
is really
ultimately, you are saying that the new generation woman is a threat to the existence of man.
yes,
Is a threat. The new gen. Let them say it. In your own opinion, the new
yes,
generation woman is a threat to the supremacy of man, to workability of marriages, to sustainability of relationships.
yeah.
Wait until when all these people come around. So I'm sure they're waiting for you. Or maybe
Yes.
you just got a shot. And that's it. That is an intercontinental ballistic missile. Can you please respond?
How much time do we have? Okay. I am going to approach it from a balanced point of view. Okay. I am going to respond to the new generation of women being a threat to men, and then I'm going to approach it as a woman as well. Okay. So let's do as a woman first. As a woman, I agree partially with what Prince Mark said. I believe, and I have witnessed that there has been a shift in our cultural values. When some of us were growing up, we were raised, as women to potentially become wives. We were taught how to cook. We were taught how to take care of a home. We were taught, things to do about raising kids and things like that. So we were brought up with values that equate to being a good wife eventually. Men, not necessarily. Men are not as groomed to become husbands as women are groomed to become wives. So, yes, in this new generation, there has been a shift because women are now working more than they were working before. Back in the day, the men went to work, the women stayed home and take care of the home. So they have
Working.
more time to do all of that. Now let's switch to the new generation woman being a threat. I don't believe so. I think it's only a threat because the men have allowed it to be a threat. And the men have become very intimidated by the new generation woman too. Because the new generation woman is telling you, no, I don't want to do 50-50 with you. The man is saying, no, let's do 50-50. What woman will want to do 50-50 with you if you're truly a husband material? That's number one. So finances is an issue because the women
Mark,
are working now. The women are working. So back in the day, we used to rely on the men to provide everything that we needed. Now, a lot of women are even making more than the man, whether it's a boyfriend or a husband. So if you come into a relationship, they're asking the women, what do you bring to the table? We are asking you too, what do you bring to the table? Because at the end of the day, we're taking care of the home, we're taking care of you, we're taking care of the children, we're making our own money. You are asking us to do 50-50. You are now being a new generation man and not being as chauvinistic as you used to be or as your fathers were. You have changed too. So if you have changed and not bringing all the cultural, societal norms that we are used to, that our mothers enjoyed, how do you expect us to remain the same? We cannot remain the same. So that's why I said I'm bringing it as from a balanced perspective because 100% of the blame cannot go to the women. The men equally have a role to play, and they have not played it very well.
So before you go further, yeah.
Mark, hold your breath. You have not said. I told you. You should be. You are the one that casted the first stone. Wait now, Eniola, what's your opinion?
Yeah,
Foundation.
thank you very much. Remy, I so much love what you said, like you nailed it on the head. Yeah,
Before
and
go.
I would agree because to really to be realistic, the dynamics has everything has changed. Like the dynamics have really changed, not only in the United States, but I would say globally. Do you understand? When we look at the statistics in terms of percentage of women that were breadwinners in the 80s, like let's around 1987 specifically, it's around 18% compared to what we had around 2014, not stock up to date, which it rose to like 29%. And today, I don't even have the most recent statistics. So I would say that says a lot, like a lot. And of course, also the expectation, like I mean, society expectation also has changed. So why the society, the workplace are trying to tap into the talent of women. We all know what it is these days. Oh, gender, or trying to encourage women in the workplace. Women's career are being celebrated in as much as it's helping to, improve these economic or to meet economic needs of families. The society itself is celebrating this thing. So we see like there is a support for women to actually want to step out there to do that. But in terms of being a threat, how much of a threat should that be? If the husband also know that going further in your career as a woman help to improve the would I say increase the disposable income of the family. So it's something to be benefited. And like Oremi rightly said, when there's responsibility that usually in the past, especially in Africa, like we expect, oh, the father is the head of the home, is handling all these responsibilities. Probably the mother can just have maybe a less strenuous or less time consuming career so that she could be able to take care of the children and the home. But right now, the father at the head of the home is now sharing most of these responsibilities with the wife. So the wife also has to go out. And that's where the balance comes in. How much of that let's meet in the middle are men actually doing before they conclude that, oh, women in career intimidate us and women in career threaten us. And taking Remi's word again, they are feeling intimidated. I wouldn't say women are just going out there to say, I'm going to threaten you. And I think with time, I would like us to refer to the research I talked about last week. I mentioned this research, this HBR research in terms of if career women, if they are they actually a threat to men. And he says, oh, not if the man, does the laundry, which is just would I say, just a sarcastic way of saying it. It doesn't mean we expect the man to go low, but it's all about how do we share the responsibilities at home, since we are both bringing something to the table for the home and the children.
Mark. Mark.
Thank you guys, but it's not exactly the way you guys see it. Like the drift is that this career thing is good, but to so many people they don't know how to handle the career thing. You see, from where we came
When
from,
you say career thing, are you talking
women
about the
women
woman?
being in jobs,
Okay.
women being in not just the
So
$15 an
jobs
hour.
and
I'm
businesses,
talking
jobs
about
and businesses.
not business. No, I'm talking about the 9 to 5 kind of career where the woman leaves the house and all that. So, like for me, it's a good thing, but it has actually shifted the value, and that's why the word threat is coming in here. Because if you notice, a lot of, I'm not saying all the women, like an average career woman sees herself as independent. And once you
And
have that notion,
and that is where I think the problem is.
yes, and once
Freedom
you
and
have that
independence.
notion as a woman is a problem. Like my own opinion in my own setting or my own marriage, like my wife works, no doubt, but it has always been my responsibility as a man, and I'm actually saying it so that other men can actually maybe learn from it. Like I've always been this person that wants to be responsible. I want to be the man of the house. Fine, coming back from Africa, where the man actually goes to work, the woman sits at home, take care of the kids and all that, but we, the man, we walk, and I see myself as somebody who should be responsible for my family, and that has to do with everything. It's not the word 50-50 already just brought up. Is I don't know where you guys got that 50-50 from. From my own upbringing, there's nothing like 50-50. A man is fully responsible for his family. The woman can be a support. So that 50-50 thing is what is the problem too. You understand? So for me, I try as much as possible, and that is why I'm into two jobs. Is it healthy? Is it whatever? But the thing is, I want to be there. I want to be the man that would say I'm paying the mortgage and I'm taking care of other bills. The woman can come in as a support with whatever she's making. As I speak with you, I don't even know what my wife makes. I don't know if she makes $3,000 a week or $4,000 a week. But I try as much as possible as a man to like, hey, this is what I can handle. And it's not a 50-50 kind of thing. So that word 50-50 doesn't exist in my own situation. So
Yes,
I
Mark, I have
Yeah.
a question for
Sorry,
you.
sorry.
and
I'm
that
gonna
50-50
Question
thing
for
is
you.
that threat thing we're discussing this morning. Because I don't see myself coming to a table and asking my wife, hey, I'm paying this, you are paying this. No. I probably will pay whatever I can pay, and she might just okay take care of the little ones that is left. I do the major paying of whatever bills
Okay,
out there.
Question.
Thank you. Now, guys, as much as possible for every of our contributions, let's make it as brief as possible so that we can engage everybody. Now, I want to quickly make a little bit of drift because more of what we have been talking about is just responsibility. Now, let's talk about the challenges. What actually makes that threat so significant? Now, first of all, let's look at the position, the roles, not the responsibility. The roles, there are some nature allotted roles. You get what I'm saying? A woman will take it further to become a wife when she decides to take or make a commitment, right? You guys agree with that?
Yep.
Because there's a difference between a woman and a wife. Now, we're not talking about just the wife. We're talking about women, all of them, that gender. Now, for me, in my own opinion, and from researches and from religious belief, even scientific explanation, there are roles that are naturally allotted to everybody. A man naturally is an alpha. Is an alpha, you know. A man naturally, they call it alpha male, forever. A man is configured to lead, to take responsibility, to secure. If danger suddenly looms anywhere, you know what is going to happen? Every woman there will be looking for solace, refuge with the men, naturally. There might be some little bit of tilt, you know. There are some super women, you know. Some of them go to battle, some of them have. But really, why would women want to take the roles of men? I'm telling you, nobody has rested since Beijing conference. I'm saying that nobody has rested since Beijing conference. And I mean, this is my own opinion. I think women should just play their own responsibility as women. Now, in terms of career, when Remy was, I can't remember who said that back then, why should back then not be these days? Are we saying that, okay, because of scientific exploration, because of westernization, modernization, nature should take a reverse order? Now, when Remy threw us some missiles, you know, that for me, women should not be treated like they are an inferior being. No. But rather, they should be treated like they are fragile. God, I'm sorry, I usually say this. In the original plan, when we were going to create the world, because I was there, when we were going to create this world, women were not originally in the plan. You know, God created man, and for like about, presumably, Adam was roaming that garden for like 200 years because it would take a long time to name all those animals, fish, this one, that forest, and everything. And God saw that this man needed support. There must be this support system. And God created. But a situation where, okay, let's look at this new generation woman. If we look at it, whatever we are seeing as danger in the world today, like what we are talking about, this juvenile delinquency, is as a result of the concomitant effect of the negligence of duty for the woman. Because the nature, the role that nature has allowed, they have abandoned it practically. Most women, what they do now is like the selfish pursuit of career excellence. They want to be here. A woman will tell you that if you can go out and come back at 2 a.m., why not me? If you can do this one, why not me? Yes, or let me air your mind.
Yes, so okay. I don't know which women you are referring to.
You are
I
one
don't
of
know
them.
which women both of you are referring to.
I
And
don't
let's bring
understand
it down.
them.
Let's bring it down a notch, because the women that I know, let me tell you, in order for a woman to be submissive, you have to lead. If you are the man and you're not leading, that is where my independence jumps in. Let me tell you something. Something that you guys are missing is that the natural thing for a woman to do is to submit to a man, because we know that men, we might not want to use the word they're superior, they're stronger, they're all of that. We know naturally that the man is supposed to lead and we are supposed to support and follow. Let me tell you where there becomes an issue. When the man has not taken his rightful place and he has not led, then the natural thing for a woman to do is to assume that role, because that role cannot be vacant. That is what you guys are not putting into perspective here. Men, their mindset has changed over the years. Men have not stepped into the role of leadership or taken the position that God originally gave to them. And as a result of that, that is the reason why.
Men or some men.
No, hold. You
Men
guys said
or some
women. You
men.
did not say some
Use
women.
women,
You
you
did
said
not-
some.
I'm only going with the direction in which you went. So here's the thing. The only time you hear a woman say, I'm an independent woman, is because the man has not stepped up. I can guarantee you that any day. When the man steps up from day one, there is no woman who does not want to be led by a man. Ask any woman. I interact with women all the time. I interact with men all the time. I can tell you that the reason why there has been a shift with women is as a result of men. That is where the situation started. So, men, if you fix the situation, the women will align. I'm just telling you, let's start there. There's a lot to say, but I'm just
Okay.
saying that the problem started with the men.
This is becoming a debate. And it's actually like two against two.
Mm-mm.
And okay, here is the thing. Eniola, what is the problem with freedom and independence? Because I want us to talk about this thing. Now, Oremi said the problem started with men. How? When it was only Adam, sorry, let's take it to that side. There were no problem. Adam was flourishing
He was
until
not flourishing. That's why God saw that he
no,
needed a woman.
no, no,
So
no.
he was not
As a
flourishing.
support
You cannot do
system,
without a
as a
woman. That
support
is the reason why
system,
God brought a woman into your life. Because you cannot do without a woman.
Eniola,
If Adam was complete, then God wouldn't have had to get him an Eve. So don't let's even go there. You understand? And I think you made a statement around that last week also when you said maybe the woman was not supposed to be doing something. I said, okay, there was the garden to be tended to, and that still amounts to work, you know. Um, honestly, the question you had in terms of independence and freedom, I really don't say like women just craving independence. I would say it is everyone trying to live out their potential. Like everyone have this innate thing, and this thing that probably some men never really realized and appreciate the work of women in the home. Like women take care of children, take care of the home. The home is stable. Because some men, how many of the men we even talk about in the olden days, like back then, how many of those our fathers actually stayed home, like to train children? Mostly, it was always like mostly the women.
and that
And
was
I
why
would say,
we had the same society. That was why,
yeah,
because
so
women were
yeah, it
playing
was
their
good, right?
functional
Good.
roles.
But
Yeah.
I,
But
I
the men
think
are making the women work now, is
work,
what
yeah.
it
Who
is.
So I
asked you to
think the
work?
men, it's what the men failed to realize, the society, the corporate system, the corporate, setting, the work setting, made them realize that see, their hidden talents, their potentials in these women. If we're talking about what makes good children, build a home, build a family, build a community, then that means there must be something in women. And they corporate body they work for, they want women in their workforce. They're talking about retaining different talents, diverse talents. Oh, let's include, other women. We want women in leadership. Why? Because we have seen they succeeded in the home. So for any man that failed to realize the impact, because as far as men were concerned, women were just doing what they were just supposed to do it. It was not even appreciated by most women until they now saw their wives being inspired to go out into the society, work, and they realized women were actually bringing in more money than some of them. Then they realized, ooh, so there was this potential you guys are threatening us. So honestly, I don't see it as a moral, but the women wanted freedom. Society offered them something good, something that they believe is going to help me to, be able to provide for my family better. I'm going to support my husband. So as
Eniola,
far as I'm concerned, it
I
wasn't
don't
just
think,
craving for independence.
I don't think it's an offering. I don't think society offered anything. I think it's more like a rebellion.
It
It
does.
was,
They have to. They
it's a
no, no, no. I
rebellion.
wouldn't agree. It's rebellions.
It's a
Economic
rebellion of the
reasons too.
bumpy chested. It's a rebellion of the bumpy chested. It's a movement. I'm telling you, and I'm
No
telling
way.
you. No,
I
I
am not
think
saying
here that's
that.
the first time. Can I say two things real quick,
say
please?
three.
Prince Mark, you said you made a point earlier when you talked about the number of people in jail. I bet they are 99% men, or let's say 90% men. Am I correct? I'm sure there are more men in jail than there are women. So if the men are
Yes.
in jail, the statistics shows that there's that many men in jail. Who is left to take care of the women? And if the women are taking, I'm sorry, who is left to take care of the children is the women. And if the mothers are taking care of the children and have been independently taking care of these children for many years, and now the man comes back home, or they remarry, and this woman has been responsible for taking care of the home, taking care of a job, taking care of the children all these years. How do you expect her to now all of a sudden relinquish all these responsibilities that she's had? Instead, the man will now look at her as, she's too independent. No, it's because of the situations, the conditions that have been handed to her that have turned her into who she is today. So when I go back and I said, let me tell you, this is coming from somebody who has been married for 28 years. I am telling you that if the man will step up and do what they're supposed to do, the woman will be less independent. Women like to be taken care of. We like the soft girl baby lifestyle. But then again, we know that we have the other responsibility of taking care of children, the husband. We take care of the husbands. We take care of the homes. We take care
Which
of the
husband?
children.
What
And what
husband
we're
do you
trying
take?
to say is
Oh,
that
no,
the
no,
man also
Oremi, you are touching
has
on a
to
premise
step
that is
up.
touching my heart. Which husband do you, when you leave for work at 7 a.m., you come back at 5? When you come
No,
back,
no,
you are
no.
going to the salon?
No,
Which,
no, no,
which,
no, 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 no. See, that
actually,
is the misconception
the
that you guys
reason,
have
No,
about women.
he's
Let me tell
not.
you something that you don't know about women.
He's
A
not.
lot of times, we manage our time more than men do. We're
oh,
able
Well,
to juggle a lot of
Absolutely.
things
okay.
and still
Let
have
me
time.
let me
You
chip
guys, we
in.
multitask.
Let
I
me
will
chip
okay,
share
in
We
with
what
are
you
you.
we
said.
are better
Already,
multitaskers. You know that.
let me
hold
chip
I
on,
don't
hold
know
on,
which
into
hold
women
on,
you guys are
the.
talking about. Oh. Very
Let me
hold on,
chip
guys.
multiple.
into. Let me say
Hold
something
on, guys.
about
I have
the
some.
VAR. Let me just say something about
Hold,
what she
I'm
said
just trying to read
concerning
something. Just hold on, please.
men being in jail and all that.
Hold on, please. I have some of our viewers watching, and they are also airing their own opinion. Owojaye Olabisi is saying, if there is understanding between the two, that is the man and the woman, the 50-50 should not be an issue. What that means is, I don't understand. That
He's saying the
should,
50-50 is okay, but there has to be an understanding between the man and the woman. That's my point. Why is there
no,
a
no,
If
no.
50?
if the man doesn't feel intimidated, yeah.
That is not the exclusive, because what he might be saying is like 50-50 should not actually happen.
No, that's
Yeah,
not what he's saying.
that
That's
He
not what
said
he's
it
saying
should
in that
not be
statement.
an
50-50
issue if
should not
there
He's
is
come into
saying
understanding.
you
existence
Okay.
understand
if
that the 50-50 is okay.
50-50 should not come into existence if
But 50-50
both
exists.
spouses
It exists.
But it
understand
does. We
or
can
It
they
exists.
come into terms. Like, okay,
See,
let
Prince
me
Mark,
let me
you
say
are an
this about
exception. You are an
let me
exception. Most men don't take the
yeah.
position that you have taken. You are an exception.
And
You are
Remy,
not usual.
contrary to what
I
our
said it.
what our guest is
Remy, I
saying,
said it when I was talking earlier, like that. I hope some men are listening
Mhm.
because we have a role to play as men.
Yes.
And but because of the society thing, let me bring you back to what you said about men going to prison or men being in prison and all that. If you really want to find out what are the causes or what are the reasons why these men are in jail,
Ah.
I will tell you, we can trace it back to the woman in the house. We have a lot of domestic
seriously,
issues
you
or
understand
domestic
this talk?
violence or domestic whatever that has actually turned the men into being incarcerated because of this thing we're discussing about this threat.
You say domestic, domestic
Hold
issue.
on, hold on, Oremi.
Some men will not take it. Some men would like, oh, okay. Ever since she got a job, she's been acting differently. Ever since she got a job or she's making more money, she doesn't do what she's supposed to do. To some extent, it's true because if you have a wife, you understand, that's into this career thing we're talking about that has to leave home nine to five. You get home yourself like you're expecting. Oh, she'll be like, there's food in the there's food in the fridge. Go and help
Go and
yourself.
microwave it.
Yes, fine. She has done a good job by providing that food to us.
Cooking, yeah.
The thing is, if you look at marriage is sweet when the man and the woman come together, eat together. You know, this food is served, you know, that, oh, my husband, the food is ready and all that. But the threat we're saying here too is these careers are actually taking these women off these responsibilities. And that is why the men they're looking at this as a threat and they kind of go a little violent as to, oh, you're not doing what you're supposed to do. Some of them put their hands on their wives.
We cannot excuse that because of
No,
that.
No, there is no
Hello.
excuse.
These are the
So
reasons.
when that
Hello,
domestic violence happens,
Hello, please.
and the
Hello,
woman
please.
reports
Hello,
it, but
please.
I have a
He
question.
feels the
Hello,
woman.
Before
please.
you marry
Hello,
the
please.
woman-
Can you please hold on, guys?
Before you married the
please,
woman,
please
she had
hold
a
on. Please
career.
hold on. Please, I am going to be allotting time, and when I say it's okay, because I don't want us to argue, it's going to become too rowdy. So please, when I say it's okay, or when I say it's your turn, please let's just manage it. I know this is very emotional, and we're going to put a lot of sentiments into it, but at the same time, for the purpose of those that are watching, we need to be very, very, organized so that people will be able to hear our points. So, Remy, you have the floor.
Yes, I have a question for the men. When you met the woman, she was working. She had a job. She went to college. She graduated. Then she got a job and she was working. You met her working. So when you married her or got in a relationship with her, was the expectation for her to quit her job? I want to start there. You met her working.
No.
So was the expectation was in order for us to be together, I need you to quit your 9 to 5.
Like,
Wow.
okay. Let me
Oh,
quickly.
it's a question.
Okay, I'm going to answer that
I'm not
question.
in support of that.
Yeah, I'm going to, like, you were not around. I think you were still in the wild then, last week. And I told Eniola, I said, "Eniola, I am Jeff Bezos. I'm giving you $10 billion. Just help me spend my money. If I have the wherewithal," and I'm saying that outside what I've given to you, I have also decided to be paying you monthly, whatever an average woman, the highest paid woman in the world, whatever she's earning, I will be giving to you. So affordance is available. Now, I can decide out of my own indecisive decision to bring it to you that what are you looking for? Is money. The ultimate goal of working, career, everything is to get affordance and luxury. Ultimately, anybody that is working and say, "I just like to work," is a lie. The reason why we are working is to be able to afford certain things and enjoy luxury. So now I have given it to you, and I say, okay, stay at home. The reason why you are getting paid is to take care of my children and myself and yourself. So now,
And I asked the
what is the
question.
problem in that?
They
Wow.
still want
Wow,
to
there's
go out.
probably 0.000% of men who will say that. So let us
No,
focus on reality
Rami,
because that's not
there is a
reality.
caveat though.
Please
That's
allow.
not
Wait,
There
reality.
is a
please,
caveat. It
please.
didn't tell you, it
Hold
didn't give
on,
you the
hold on,
complete
Eniola.
condition.
Hold on, Eniola.
That's
Please
not
hold
even
on.
reality. That's not reality
Can
for
we,
99.9% of
like I
people.
said again, please,
That's
guys,
not reality.
let us
This
hold
thing.
on,
I'm
please.
sorry,
I
but
don't want it.
let me
No,
just say something.
hold on.
Give
I
me
need
a
to
minute.
moderate. No, I need to moderate, and I mean this because one, there are even some people that are already making comment.
Okay.
Please,
Okay.
hold on.
Val,
If I
call us one after the other to
Yeah,
talk.
so please, I mean, there can be interjections. I know this is very, very sad. The topic calls for everybody's blood boiling, but please allow me to moderate. If not, I mean, a lot of things will be lost in content, please. So, Mark, you have the floor.
Okay. Just like Remy, you said, she mentioned something that has to do with reality or something. I use myself as an example. Like back in the days when we were back home in Nigeria, my wife is here at the background. She can hear me. She is this person I would like. I want to work. I want to work. That was when she finished her NYSC. When she finished her, the NYSC thing they do back in the days, or they still do in Nigeria. She was like, I need a job. I need a job. Like, why do you want to work? I'm going to give you, or I should use the word. I was paying her to be home at that time. You understand? Whatever you need, this is the small, or this is the money. Like, fine,
What
but
you
she
should be
insisted
making
I
outside.
cannot go to school and still be home and all that. And it's not as if I was rich then, but I just know the implication of when a woman would leave the home and be out there, and every other thing in the home suffers. There will be no food. The children are not well taken care of because people want to rely on babysitters to take care of their kids. But the best training we had, our mothers took care of us, and they led us to, things we're supposed to know and stuff like that.
You have 30
So,
seconds. You have 30 seconds more.
so the thing is, that career thing, we should not just drift away from it. It has actually taken part of the women's responsibility to be responsible for some certain stuff in the house. So that's just my take.
Okay, I want to quickly, let's just push it further because the topic is very wide. Now, look at the divorce rate. We talked about this last week, and I'm sure a lot of it, even the rich also cry. You find that the wealthier you are now, the more prone you are to divorces, especially when women become, okay, so can we say that freedom and independence of women has led to more divorces than usual? Remy?
No. So let me make a statement or comment real quick. And this is true. This is live. It happened. It's somebody that I'm very close to. I'm not going to give too many details to give it away. There was a woman who was married. She had several children. She did not work. She gave up her career in order to take care of her children, in order to take care of the home, in order to take care of her husband. They were married for over 20 something years. Down the road, the man decided, no, I want another wife. I divorced the woman, remarried. The woman had not worked for 20 something years because she was busy taking care of the family. She was told her responsibility was to the family. So she quit her really nice job and stayed home. Many years now that they have divorced, the man is still working. The wife is now working, even though he wanted the woman to stay home, his first wife, because the woman has been out of the career system or job force for decades. She's finding it very difficult to find a job. Why? Because she's been out of the job force for a long time. A lot of times when women work or when women get divorced, the women are left with nothing. Now, if you're in America, it's a different system because, if you have small children, you can fight for the children and things like that. Everything is interconnected: marriage, independence, freedom, divorce, all of that. At the end of the day, the husband and the wife need to have a clear understanding of what works for them. What works for Prince Mark might not work in my home. What works in my home might not work for Eniola. What works in her home might not work for somebody else. So the two of you need to sit down, have a conversation as to what the expectations are, what the family expectations are, and go by that. Don't go by what society is feeding you. Don't go by what a family A is doing or whatever. Because at the end of the day, you have to be able to pay your bills, whether it's for one person or two people, and you have to be able to take care of the family. In the situation that the man doesn't have a job and the woman is the one working, what do you want us to do? The man has to take care of the family, right? While the woman goes to work. There are situations like that where the man doesn't have a job and is not able to get a job. And the sole financial is coming from the woman. Then in that situation, do you want her to still work as much as she's doing? Because the number one reason for divorce is finances. Google it. The number one reason for divorce is finances. So is the finances because a woman is working, or is the finances because maybe the man is not bringing enough and wants the woman to contribute financially? So I really want us to look at this from a balanced perspective.
Okay, that is taken up because of our time. I want us to touch as much areas as possible. Divorce, whether finances or other reasons attached to it. It could be infidelity, it could be promiscuity, it could be covetousness, it could be career, it could be a lot. But everything will still surround finances. I agree with you. And I also want to agree that as a support system, whether by creation or by design, I think it's not about. No, I also don't belong to that school of thought that says that women should not work. Because one, what if a man becomes incapacitated? Mm-hmm. What if something happens to the family and then that woman is there? She's not been able to explore her potentials. Then it will be a problem. But what we're saying is when such opportunities now become a threat to the family, quickly, look at it. How many hours do some women spend at home with husband or children? The sincerity of purpose in marriages is defeated because
16,
people don't
15
spend
hours.
time together. Most children know their babysitters more than they know their parents, women especially. Now, the existence of men or the supervisory role that a man is supposed to play will become unprofitable or even become a venture that you cannot go to, because now that man will now have to play both the role of leadership and the role of babysitting. So, I mean, I think women should thrive. I think as it's supposed, especially in this civilized world, if you tell your wife not to work, the day there's going to be a problem, then, I mean, you might not be able to solve it. But when it becomes, look at women now. A woman will say that, oh, one man is richer than the husband, and then she becomes covetous and she wants to leave the family. These days, I mean, I beg to say, in my own opinion, most of the divorces that we have in this generation, they are caused by women. Most.
And you're like,
And you're like, I know you want to, okay, you are
No, I
bottling up,
would not
okay.
agree. No, he knows I'm not gonna agree to that. See, we talked about the man as being the leader at the head. If you don't maintain your position, do you understand? A lot of things are gonna fall apart. So if one of the impacts of you not holding forth your position as the head, be it financially, emotionally, and all that, and something happens, you don't put the blame on the woman.
But I don't think we should look at it from that. I think we should look at, okay, let's look at women not playing their own roles. When a woman also fails to play, it will tell on the children education. One, they will not do well. If you look at any child or children doing well in school, it's a function of a woman being available to help that child. I'm not saying it should be a unilateral thing. It should be combined effort. Both man and woman, husband and wife should do that together. But I see, look at it. A woman wants to go into divorce, and they don't really think about it so much, because me, I am an advocate of no matter what the situation is, don't divorce. Because no matter what the situation is. I mean, that is taking it too far. But I'm saying that if women should do the way Eniola is looking at a man that is not playing his role, any man that cannot play their responsibility, this is a live program. I don't want to use degrading words, but a man
No.
should play his role. But when a man, can you imagine some men don't know what their children eat, what clothes they wear, and then I see some such men, they go out, they are spending money, drinking, gallivanting, jolly popping everywhere, and they leave the woman. Now, that woman who has a good husband she leaves the husband, go to get her own house. Now she has to start paying bill. That's why it will become terrible. Because now she will have to run twice the distance she's supposed to cover. The man was the one paying the mortgage. Now she has to pay her own rent or mortgage. Now she has to finance her own car. Now she has to pay for insurance. Why are we in this tribulation, Eniola?
I would. I don't know if that question should actually be directed to me. So why are we in this tribulation? Like I said, the woman having to leave the home, different strokes for different folks, like they say, and it's only an individual that knows where the shoe pinches. There are some extreme circumstances where actually life-threatening ones, or when your mental, would I say your mental stability is really at stake, where some people really have to, exit the marriage. And of course, I don't also or ever will support divorce, but in such, circumstances, it's better to be alive. So when a woman find themselves in that situation, going back to what Urmi said earlier, you met a woman, she was working, she finished college, she was working, taking care of her bills, doing all that. Some women actually are able to do that. Trust me, women, when they settle their minds to do something with their career, that's why sometimes it looks like, okay, this woman is moving so faster than the man when they enter the same career. I have quite a number of friends that husband and wife, they work in the same industry, and before you know it, the woman is able to. So we have that capability. It's just like because of this, oh, let me be home, let me try and manage home together. A lot of women are not able to go far. So a woman having like going, like going into them, like divorcing their husband and going to have family, having to pay mortgage and everything alone. I know it's not really easy. Even for a man doing the same, it's not easy to do it. It's like what should be the burden of two people is now back to one. But I would say for a woman that may have been working before getting married, paying their bills, it wouldn't be too much to just be like, okay, it's life. I would rather have this than have my sanity taken from me
Um,
or have my life taken from me.
yeah, I know, Oremi, you may need to rush off soon, maybe sooner than we expect. Oremi, what can we do about single parenting? I want you very briefly, and I also want you to quickly talk about polygamy. Just because those are
What
some
a
of
man can do, a woman can do
A woman
better.
can do
I know
better.
you guys were waiting for that, so I had to give it to you.
okay,
So
so give it
here's
to
the
us.
thing.
So, what do you think? How can we curb single parent on both sides? Because when people talk about single parenting, a lot of people
Yeah.
think that you should just be like, okay, a woman taking care of children. Men too that are
So
divorced
yeah,
or that are widowed or whatever. Single parenting that we're talking about is actually dissolution of relationships or marriages.
yeah.
What can we do to curb it, and what is wrong with polygamy?
So what is wrong with polygamy? The fact that we're asking that question means that we know that it is wrong. Unless you went into the marriage with the understanding between both parties that you're going into a polygamous home. So when a man decides I want to get two wives and the woman leaves, then the blame goes back to her again. Why did she leave? The man is allowed to have two women. So all the blame always goes back to the woman when a man decides to take a decision that is not favorable to the family or to the wife. And so that's why I always say that let's keep it
So, are
balanced.
you
In
saying
order,
that polygamy is wrong? I want you to first of all nail that. I mean, hit that on the. Hit that nail on the head. Are you saying
unless I
polygamy
mean,
is
if
wrong?
you're a Christian, I don't think our religion supports that. Now, if you are of a different religion that supports that, I cannot speak to
What's
that.
your own opinion? Or leave religion out of it. What's
What's
your
my
own
own
opinion?
opinion? If my
Yeah.
husband decides to take a new wife, I'll take a new husband too.
Overton,
Did you hear
Didn't you
that?
hear at the beginning when I
No,
said what a
Let's
man
do
can do,
this.
a woman
I,
can
wa-
do
A woman
better?
can do better.
I was
I mean, I
actually
said
waiting
it
for
at the
that.
You
beginning.
know,
Oremeyi,
it brought out to the
Oremeyi.
question of a man having an extramarital affair and having a child and bringing that child home. So
You're
if the
asking a
woman does the
question and
same,
you
are
want
you
to
going
know
to
the
bring the
answer
child
to.
home? Are you
Okay,
going to accept the
Oremeyi.
child into the home?
You know
Let's
the
let's
answer to the
let's
question already.
listen to this before you leave. Is
Yes.
it fair? Are you not so selfish? You, as Oremeyi, are you
Mhm.
not a selfish individual? When you want to stick to your husband, and there are several unmarried women out there,
Okay.
is your husband not doing them a lot of favor by, like a lot of
Thank
women
you.
are
Thank you for
unmarried?
that
Philanthropy.
awesome. Thank you for that awesome question. Will he not be selfish when there are a lot of men that will be looking at this beauty too? So
Which beauty?
what did they
That
say?
beauty
What
is
did,
meant
Admiring
for
the
that
beauty.
beauty
what did
is
they say?
meant for
What is
one
good
man.
for the goose is good for the gander. How did
Not
they
in
say
this
that?
case.
So here's the thing. Here's the thing. If you know that that is not the life you signed up for, then don't do it because you know that's going to break up your home. So it's selfish on both sides. So let's keep it balanced. Unless you signed up for a polygamous relationship or marriage,
Yeah.
then don't do it. So now back to the question you asked about the
Parenting.
single parenting. You know, a man can be a single parent, a woman can be a single parent. At the end of the day, if the other parent is still alive, find a way to make sure that that parent is a part of that child's life. Don't isolate. Just because you got divorced does not mean that the child loses the other parent. I am an advocate of that. You can decide to be divorced, but make sure that both parents are still in the life of the child because the child demands that. The child needs that. The child should not suffer as a result of the decision that you both
That
made.
that that is why people should not even think about divorce,
No, I
because
disagree with
But
that
when
because
it
there are
has
some
to happen,
situations that calls for it. There
yeah.
are some
I,
situations.
When
There
it
are
has
I,
to
women
happen,
who have died. There are women
I,
who have died as a result of domestic violence. So
I,
let's not get to the point where we say that
let's
that
not
should
get
never
there.
do. No, no, no,
no,
no.
I,
no,
There's
no.
If
always
We're
when
going
going
to
to
be a
get
happen,
there.
breakup.
work it
We
There's
out
are
for
going
the
to.
always,
sake of
there's
your
always
Oremi,
going to be a
children
breakup.
to keep both
I
parties involved.
appreciate the fact that you said women should allow the man to be part of.
Of course.
A lot of women don't
Of
do it. A
course.
lot of women don't do it, and that is why I'm telling you
Mm-hmm.
that these men you talked about that are incarcerated, that are in jail today, are not in jail because they want to be in jail. They're in jail because the woman is not allowing the man to play a role in the life of the children. The man wants to see the children so badly, but this woman, because she's divorced, would not allow the man to see the kids.
Yeah, we don't give
Something
access.
happened recently to somebody that I'm not going to mention name, but this person had to take his life because the wife was, they were into a kind of separation and all that, and the woman would not allow the kids and all that to see
The
the
father.
man. So and eventually this man took his life. And I just appreciate the fact that Oremi just said it. Like when there's divorce, the woman should allow the man to be part of the children's life. Like
This is
be
a question
responsible, play the role of a man in the
to
kid's life.
this is a question, and I want our viewers, please, I want you to go to the comment section
I
and
didn't.
yes, before you leave, I know you have to say bye bye. Before you leave, you said what is good for the goose should be good for the gander, right? Why is it that the advocacy is always for the good living and good life for women?
No,
Are men, hold on, are men made of steel? Don't you think we also deserve to be pampered? Don't you think,
yes.
wait, because when everybody said, oh, she's a woman. Oh, it's men who don't have emotion. Okay, I'm asking you. I want both of you, you are the female folks. I
Yeah.
want to just ask, to just answer this with just one word.
Yes.
Two options.
So because I
male,
have to
male or
go.
female. Well,
Yeah.
if you have a child, who is supposed to pay school fees between the man and the woman?
So
No,
I'm
so,
not
so
going,
no explanation. Just man, just
The man should
one
pay.
option.
The man is expected to pay that.
I just want
It
one
doesn't mean
word,
the
man or
woman
woman.
cannot.
I don't
I can't
want.
say that
Man.
because every family is different. Every
Wait,
situation is
I'm
different.
saying standard.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it
Standard
can't be
man. That's what I
universal.
said, man.
Standard.
Standard, the man pays
Then
the
if
bills.
the
Okay.
man is not
If
working,
the
we
child
understand.
I don't want to just hold on. If the child is sick, who should pay the hospital bill between the man and the woman?
The family should pay it.
I give you two options. Just choose one. Standard now. Who is expected? Okay, who is expected or supposed to pay bills, like the medical bill?
If the man is working, he can pay. The woman is the one working. She can
Condition.
pay.
I believe
Women will
that
never.
anyone can,
I
because we're
I
talking
just
about if it's a medical emergency.
Eniola.
If it's a
Hello,
medical
Eniola.
emergency, you have to
Can
be
you
waiting
hold?
for
Can you
your
hold
husband
on?
to come and
You are
pay.
trying to trap us. I know
No,
where you're
hold
going with
on,
that.
hold on.
It's a
I
trap.
just
I
said
know where you're
we
going with
should
that.
not
If there
just.
is a medical emergency
See,
and you're right as
I'm
a
the
woman,
host.
anyone
Hello,
can just act. That's
Eniola.
where the woman
Eniola.
has to have control of
This
some
is.
fund, of some
Can
finance
I
too.
host? Can I host the show? I'm
It's a
asking a
trap.
question. You have just two options. People are listening. It doesn't mean that what you are saying is right. It's an opinion. It's a question. I'm saying that if a child is sick, standard, who is expected to pay the medical bill?
Family.
I said there are two options. Can't you just understand? You have just two options. There's no family.
Either one,
It's only A
man
or
or
B.
woman.
A
Man,
woman sees afar. We already know that it's a trap because you're going to say if the child is sick, who is supposed to take care of the child? The man pays the bills, the woman takes care of the child. We already know it's a trap.
but why are you
That's why
preempting
we're
what I
not
want to say?
answering the
See,
question.
you see, this is one of the problems that we have with women. That's the new
No.
generation woman. They want to feel. Listen. We
I'm
have
not
a
a new
question.
generation woman.
Wait. This is if you are, let's make it look like it's a computer-based test. You have only one option to go to the next page, and you cannot be wiser than the examiner. It's an exam, and for you to move to the next one, just answer a question.
I
A
pick
question
other.
A or B. Who
Order.
is-
C says order. And then you write in your answer there. I've taken enough exams. You write other, you pick C. If you
Other.
say other, then you fill in your information.
Mark,
Yes.
the new generation man is in trouble.
No, it's because you
The
guys
new
think
generation
If you want to
that
be,
we are not.
I don't think he is in trouble. I think he has a lot of even better opportunities to be relaxed now. That's it. If he chooses to
Let me tell you,
leverage
this
the
exactly.
situation.
Yeah, you're
This
right.
ex-
Though the man should be relaxing.
You see,
Yeah, no, it's
ladies,
more opportunity because now you instead of one breadwinner, you have two. It's not a matter of planning out how would our own be.
It's
Like
a
how are we
win.
gonna
It's a win-win.
train our
It's a
children?
win-win.
So
let's
let
quickly
me
say
It's a
just
bye
say
bye.
win-win
this. As
situation.
women,
It's a
we do
win-win.
spoil our men.
You're gonna win something and you will lose something. So
Naturally.
Yeah,
As
like
Yes.
women,
I think
Alright.
people just want to eat their cake and have it.
before
Honestly,
Eniola, let's
Let me
quickly
say
take
this
Oremi
real quick
before
I leave.
she, yeah.
As women, we do spoil our men.
Hey?
Yes, we do. Hold on,
Yeah.
let me finish.
Oh,
We know what they want, and like we know what they always want. As women, we spoil our men with that, with food, and make sure that they're taken care of. Like I said at the beginning, I don't know which women that you guys have talked to, the women in my circle,
Or the
we make
woman
sure that we
you know.
balance family, home, work, job, and make sure that the man is not left out. That is why some of us are still married today. Bye.
okay. Yeah, before you go, this one is just
I'm on your side, like all
okay.
state.
I think she has to go. She's
She
really
left, yeah.
there's this question I wanted her to actually be a part of because it's one of those questions that you hardly see people want to talk about, which is intimacy between the man and the woman. Sometimes in most relationships, let's look at it, especially when it comes to criminal part of it or the uncivil part, no, not criminal, uncivil part of intimacy. You know what I mean when I'm talking about intimacy? I'm talking about having sexual relationship in relationships and in marriages. Can we say that women, like when a woman says no, that's where I'm going. Can a woman say no in the face of anything? Can a woman say no, or can a man say no? Is in that situation, can women still pose a threat to man by saying no? Mark.
Well, bringing in it's a kind of, yeah. Well, to me, it depends on what she's saying. The reason why she's saying no. Then I would just believe, or I just assume the man should understand why she's saying no. And
In the heat of the moment.
well, the heat of the moment, it depends on what is going on, and it depends on how you can actually place the no to actually answering the question or solving the situation at the moment. But the question I want to throw back to you as well is, why would she want to say no?
Okay,
Depends
let
on
me give you an
the
idea
situation
because
of the man.
this is one of the things that people don't want to talk about, but it has generated a lot of controversy. A lot of people that you see that are in marriages or in relationships out there, a lot of them are suffering from this thing that we're talking about. Consistently, the woman gets home and says, "I'm tired." We're talking about working. She comes back the following day again, "I am tired." On the third day, "I'm not in the mood." You get. And this is a man with a very high libido. You get. And then 1 week, 2 weeks, constantly. And this man is the one that keeps asking. Actually, I think asking should not actually be from the man alone. It should be like a vice versa thing. So is that posing a threat to the man's libido? And
No,
do you mean, can a woman have...
not just the libido. It's posing a threat to the marriage
Marriage. To the
completely. Yeah,
marriage too, actually.
the marriage is about to hit the rock because.
Yeah. You're gonna be
But,
going further
but
apart.
let's look at it. The man asks, or he's been asking. The woman has been saying no and all that, and still boils down to what I said earlier. Like, are the reasons why she's saying no genuine? You and I know. You and
It's
I know
actually,
where we.
see,
You and
it's
I. You
actually
and I.
genuine because that woman is working. Maybe, let's say, okay, she's a nurse.
That okay. Walking is one of the reasons why she's saying no. It
Yes,
depends on the kind of job she's doing. Some of us have
genuinely.
wives that are nurses that works on the floor of hospitals, and you
No,
know
but
how to.
genuinely, this woman is worn out. She's worn out
Yes.
because of
So
that. And for two
exactly,
weeks,
if you have a wife like that works, you know the nature of the job of your wife. I just want to say you should understand. Anytime you run to her and she says no, just let her be.
and said that
And
then you have
understand.
to
Or
zip up
else
for
you
one
want to tell
month.
her get another job that is not as tedious as the one she's doing, so she
Now,
can come
wait,
back home and
So,
give you a yes.
that is
so
exactly where I'm going. Now, we were talking about career. Now, that is one of the downside of all this career thing. Now, if the woman is saying no for 1 month, what do you want the man to do? For 1 month, that man has not tasted the apple, and consistently the woman is still saying no. I mean, should the man go out, or should he consider marrying a second wife so that it can be a support system to the first wife?
So and when the second one to start getting tired, maybe because of our work, it goes on. Honestly, I would like to say that's where the place of communication comes in, right? We all know and understand, and we all agree that when this happened in a marriage, you were getting further apart. Like intimacy, sexual intimacy is one of those things that kind of help to sustain the bond between couples. And if this continues to happen, there's no way the man will be feeling bad. And like you already said, it's let's say it's for a very very legitimate reason, like she's actually tired. So how would they work together on this? Like, to me, communication. Okay, how are we going to work this? Your work, your job is actually taking us further apart. What should we do? You
Let me
understand?
quickly
And
let me
I
quickly
believe
read
you can't
this.
eat your cake and have it. The work she is doing is bringing in income, is supporting me. You're both like co-breadwinners right now. So it's the imbalance that's causing all this. Just sit her down, see how you're gonna work it. And I believe a very realistic woman and would actually know that something is happening and she has to really salvage her home before it hits the rock.
Okay, let's quickly take opinion of some of our viewers. And Oluwarotimi Alex Akinshaw once says feminism contributed to most divorces. You see, in the West world, wanting to be equal to men, equality. That's where we're going. Wanting to be equal to man is one of the reasons. Other countries with unique religion background are doing just fine. That's from Akinshaw, and it says Western world. Now, this one is also from him. He said almost 70% of men in prison in America were raised by a single mother, not only in America, and that's a fact. If you are raised by a single parent, especially mother, you are likely to end up in jail. Most likely you'll do some unguided thing. And the guy is saying 65% of single ladies in America were raised by single mother as well. Wow. Wow, thank you so much for that information. 65% of single mothers were also raised by single. Okay, sorry about that. And then say women are weaker vessel, no matter what. Can you read that?
And can you bring in this guest to just say something?
Yeah,
I'm sure he has a lot.
exactly. Yeah, I've done a
And
lot of research.
okay, yeah, and I think I was reading that too. I think he mentioned it before I could say it. If you are the tendency of you never achieving your dream is 75% if you are raised by a single parent. 75% likely that you will never achieve your dream or attain that pursuit in life if you are raised by a single parent. Because one, if it's just the father, the motherly thing there is missing. If it's the mother, the fatherly thing there is missing. If you see men that are just arrogant, they are just so, they are stiff, they are unbendable, unshakable, go and check it out. They are raised by a single man. And then he's always beating, maybe the boy doesn't even understand law. Because one, when the house is too soft, it needs a man. When the house is too harsh, it needs a woman. So there's this balance that needs to be created. And I'm saying this to everybody that is watching. I mean, people have gone through stuff. I know there are a lot of reasons why people can go into divorces. But for me, I'm saying it is not good because it should be the last option. In fact, it should not even be an considered option. So, and I ask people, should a woman leave a marriage because of battery? Like as a Christian, the Bible said the only reason why you can leave your marriage is because of infidelity, right? Now, this man gives you maybe not battery, like just once in a while knock on the head, like a slap on the face once in a while. But will you leave your marriage if it was you, Eniola?
Yeah, it depends on, if, like I mentioned last week, you will have to understand where that is coming from. Is this something that's been happening? Did it just start? And you have to track it and understand, is this man going through some emotional, issue at that point, or psychological issue at that point? And if it's just that one time and you are able to sort that out, I would not say you just pack your bag at the first, sight of that. But if you are in a relationship that you're not even married yet and that keeps happening, it's already a red flag. But in a marriage, if it happens, I would say, as a very virtuous woman, it would be important for you to know what is going on with your husband. It could be an emotional challenge, you know. It could
So,
be 1 minute. Okay,
so
I thought I was offline.
Mark, Mark,
So I don't ever like I would not tell you to stay in when that becomes life threatening. If you talk to him, he seeks maybe counseling and he doesn't change, no, you just can't stay in that because it continues to get worse and your life could be at risk. Even the children see that, which is really not good.
uh, yeah, there was this inconclusive part that we kind of left, and I want us to go back to it, which is polygamy. Man, I think whatever I'm saying, I'm just saying it as a host because I want to be able to bring out things from you guys. Now, is it okay that man is naturally configured to be polygamist in nature, or not just man, male, anything male?
No.
Let's look at the pride of a lion, as in that when you have, lion have prides. You get now. There's always this alpha male who is dominant in the family. He will have like about 3 4 other lionesses, and he's the only one he will never allow another male to come into that family and lay with any of those. The same thing in the clan of monkeys, and anything called male. Even if you have, I mean, I'm not equating men to animals, but I'm saying that is anything
Better
called
not.
male. Anything that you call male, I think naturally they are configured to be
They
polygamous
no.
in nature.
No.
No, I'm not saying they are polygamists. I mean, like me,
They are
like
not.
me.
They are
Hold
not.
on, hold on, hold on. It's my opinion. That's why I want you to also
Yeah,
relate with
sure.
it.
I
Now,
want to have a contrary opinion, a counter
okay, you
opinion.
can, but let me finish. Here's what I'm saying. I personally, I cannot I can never have two women, as in two wives. One is enough to even kill a man, not to talk about having two. I don't think I have that capacity. With what I'm saying, this even the old generation woman. But I'm saying that man is configured to, is configured like for polygamy. Not necessarily must be a polygamist because it's a choice. You get what I'm saying? So let's hear your own opinion now, Eniola.
Yeah, I just want to like oppose that right away. That man is configured a polygamy. I don't think so. Otherwise, we can refer back to the creation of man, Adam. When God realized, okay, it's not good for man to be alone, he did not create two Eves, right? No, he did not. It was one because he realized this man need a helpmeet. One. So at that point in time, if they had been okay, let me pay like four different ones, then you choose or you have all of them, then I can accept that your hypothesis. So that's for that. So and
Well,
also again, comparing like talking about the maybe world of animals. Yeah, of course that one exists, but I would say among men, um, I would say the reason why
excuse me,
polygamy has been
please.
supported in the past, especially in cultures like ours in Africa, would be mostly because of the societal support. Do you understand? In a society like I have one of my grandfathers that had like maybe or like multiple wives, and it's the way the society was crafted at that time, the expectation, and of course, when you look at most of these women, then they were not even working. And the thing is, as far as the men saw it, okay, I'm rich, I could take care of all of you, give you all your own houses and take care of you. You just cook, take care. Then when it's my turn to meet with you, I'll come to your building or something. Those things, the societal construct really allows that to happen then. And most of them wanted to have many children, big families, and the men that time were really, really that responsible. So we can't compare that with now. Even now, we still know some religions like that still support polygamy, and I would say support because people from the Islamic faith, some know it's allowed. It doesn't mean a man that is a Muslim or a woman that is a Muslim should expect to be in a polygamy. So I would say there has to be a support system for that polygamy to work. You can't tell somebody that is
I
not
have a
maybe a
caller on the
Muslim
line.
or
Okay. Hello, hello.
somebody
I
that
have
is
a
not
caller.
a Muslim on that. Okay,
Hello, hello,
I need my
Eniola.
help for a bit. Yeah.
Hello, Eniola. I have a caller on the line. Hello.
Okay.
Good morning.
Yes, can you speak out louder, please?
Good morning.
Good morning. What's your name and where are you
Uh,
calling from?
my name is Wahid Razak. I'm calling from Baltimore, Maryland.
Go ahead, please. What's your opinion?
Well, I just want to chip into what my sister was saying, because I'm looking at the program. It's a very interesting program, and the conversation is really good. Uh, but in our society, a lot of things are kind of changing, and it's changing very fast. Um, our culture are changing too, because as an African, we're not considering our culture. We tend to lean towards other people's culture. Uh, as an African woman, we know what we need, we know what we're supposed to do. At no point in time, sure, husband and wife go for a whole month without having intimacy. If they don't have it, which means the marriage is already gone. No matter what kind of work we all do or we have to do, we have to create space and time. It shouldn't be just work and work and work all the time. We should find the time for each other. We should have time to do what we're supposed to do as husband and wife. Because when we got married to each other, there's a reason why we choose each other. But we're taking our priority out of
But,
context.
but Mr. Razak,
Yes.
let me quickly ask you, what if this woman is sincerely tired? She goes to work, she's very tired, first week, second week, third week. What if she's like tired? And that's the truth. So what should a man do?
Why is she working first week, second week? She doesn't have a day off? Come on now. If you work 5 days, you should take 3 days off.
Yeah,
She wants to take some days
that's
off.
where balance should be stricken.
The way
Like,
the system is
you-
built, we should have some days off. We can't just be work with. But like I say, a lot of our African women or men, we take out our priority. All what we're trying to do is make money. Money is not everything. I know it's good
So
to make
true.
money, but money is not everything. And most of us, we trying to make all this money. What we do with it?
So if that consistently goes on, what do you think the man should do? Take another wife, or look for succor outside, or what even? Or let's even reverse the case. What if it's the man, a man who comes home every evening and he say, "Oh, I'm tired," and the woman needs some male attention. What should the woman do? Because it's not just about
Well, as a man, and if I put myself in the same shoe, a man shouldn't come home every evening and tell his wife I'm tired. What do you mean you're doing something else?
his work. His work now.
But trust me, it cannot be work all the time. I mean, obviously, we know how the system works. If we work the way we're supposed to work, we're not worrying about counting blocks to every dollar we make in this country. I think our life will work better.
Okay, before you leave, let me quickly ask you so that I can allow other callers to also hear their opinion. Please, callers, if you are watching the program and you want to call, you can look at the number that is scrolling on the screen. If you are calling from outside the United States, don't forget you have to put the international code, which is +1, before you make the call. So, Mr. Razak, before you go, what is your own opinion about polygamy?
My own opinion about polygamy is kind of divided into about 2, 3 categories. Growing up in a polygamous family and have parents who have multiple wives, it's a good and bad side of it. It's a sweet and bad and sad part to it. Polygamous is not really something that you want to do or you want to get yourself involved. It's not meant for everybody. Some people can handle it, some people cannot. Some people can treat their business right.
But what's your own opinion? Do you think it is okay?
For me,
I know your wife might be listening, but don't be scared because some of these things can be very technical.
I'm just being honest. I'm saying about my own capacity.
Okay.
And as a Muslim, let me just break it up because the sister was explaining something. She was saying something about as a Muslim, you are allowed to take second wife. As a Muslim, you're not allowed to take second wife. So we gotta be careful when we mention a religion. Our culture as an African allow us to take multiple wives, not the religion itself. Even the religion has some rules and regulations whereby if you follow those rules and regulations, you can't even take a second wife.
But okay, here is it in my own research, because when I was preparing for this program, I went into the two books, two holy books, and actually I found out that the Bible actually did not say a man should not. In fact, no, I don't want to say encourage, but it agrees with more polygamy. I was reading. It's not silent. No. Even the Quran, it gives only condition for
It
you
gives
to
a
marry
condition.
multiple.
That's
Yeah,
it.
the
So, but the
Quran did
condition
not.
is what people hide under.
If you
People use
can
that
love them equally, if you can provide for
equally,
them equally, yeah, that's what they will. But you
and
see,
people take that.
the Bible did not say that, but rather the Bible was saying, like when Paul was talking to some of these elders in in the city of Corinth and Thessalonica, he was saying that if you want to be a bishop, you can only be a husband of one wife.
Of one.
But if you want to be maybe a deacon or other, you can have two. You get.
No.
So it means
He didn't say he wants to
he
be a
did not say that,
deacon.
but he said he gave the condition that those who want to go for specific position
Your
can be
house
husbands
must
of
be in
one.
order. You must. No, he didn't say to.
No, I'm telling you, if you want to take some position, if you are just a Christian, it's silent. If you go into the concordance, Abraham had two. One was legal, the other one was illegal, or whatever. There are a lot of them. Solomon had 300. I usually call him my
So
mentor.
we're not saying because some of those patriarchs of old had more than one way. It doesn't mean it was justified. That's why when I made my comment the other time, I said some of these things are cultural. There has to be a support system for that polygamy to work. You understand? Maybe the culture, you understand, the society, something with our values must align.
Okay,
Sometimes it's the religion that
before
give
we
you
go
that
on,
support to say,
Miss-
okay, do it because you are able to take care of four.
I think I still have Mr. Razak. Are you still there?
I'm here.
Okay, just the last one. Do you believe in equality of both sexes? Do you believe the equality, gender equality? Do you believe in it? What's your opinion? Men and women, are we equal?
Well, we're all equal in the face of God. But one thing we have to understand is that we all have a different role. God created each us with a different responsibility. Men have their responsibility, and women have their own responsibility. Women can equally be equal to men when women respect the husband. And men can be equal, they can both be equal when the husband loves the wife. See the difference? Men don't ask for too much, they only ask for respect. But women, they ask for a whole lot. So we're two different genders. We're not equal in any way. I'm just gonna say this. We're not equal. But the Western world make us think women are equal to men. But the Western world itself has a definition of certain ethnics that use that. Because I've never seen other culture or other women of color that call themselves, oh, I'm a strong Caucasian woman. But I've seen, oh, strong black woman, strong this, strong that. These are the problem we have because our black women always think they're strong, but when they need anything, they come for the men. When it's time to lift something heavy, they come for the men. When it's time to do this, but when it comes to making a decision in the house, that's what we have to make a decision together. We're equal. We're not equal to each other.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Razak. Thank you so much for your contribution. That's the voice of Mr. Razak. And let's give some other callers. We're going to finish the program in 15 minutes. So if you want to call, please kindly look at the numbers scrolling on the screen. And please, let's just hear your own opinion. I want to quickly, we were talking about the demography, male and female world population last week. And, I told you it's inexhaustible. Do you really believe that there are more men than women in the world? Mark?
If we go by human existence, I would rather say there are more women in the world than men.
Why?
Well, if we, for example, look around us, we see that everywhere we go, we tend to find more women, more feminine, whatever, than the masculine or the men.
But what the world demography says that there are 52% of men. I mean, 51 point something, and then there's 49% of women. I also don't really agree with that projection. But I look at it. How many women go to war? How many of them get killed in wars? Men, like we said, a lot of them are in jail. Some of them end up dying in gangsterism and all that. You know, a lot of men also, even when it comes to health, men die earlier than a lot of women. Women have more longevity, you know. Eniola is into health. Do you agree with this summation?
Yeah, if it's data backed, if it's evidence based, why not? Like I mentioned last week, we have to be careful of, like, if once it's anything having to do with data, I respect it until I bring a contrary, opinion based on my own data too.
I was talking to
So
somebody after the program, one of the feedback that I got, and the guy was opening my eyes to somebody, and he said that I should ignore all those statistics that is coming from maybe world population, whatever. And he was saying that, he said there are a lot of things that they do is because of politics or because of international relations, just because they want to put it out there. And sincerely, I think, after speaking with him for like 30 minutes, I agreed. Because let's look at it. How many men have died in Afghanistan war? In the First World War, Second World War, Nigerian Civil War, Vietnam War, and all that, men face a lot of disasters. Men are more prone to a lot of danger than women. And in terms of health, so if people are coming up with these statistics, somehow I ask myself, from where? Like with the country where we come from, I will never agree with anybody with any statistic that the Nigerian Population Commission come with. I have never been counted. Never, not for once. All the time they have
where
done
were
census.
you during the census? You
I
never
was at home.
participated in the national
I'm
census?
telling you, I was at home, but they never showed up.
Yeah, but they go by your.
Where were you?
Don't worry, you were
Were you
counted
in
in the
Baruti?
head because the data collection, whatever your parents or whatever or whoever resides in your house puts in,
How
it
many
includes
people?
you.
One data in Africa is nothing to go by. I mean, it's not
No, but
something.
there's a lot of efforts, like really, really done, like in that regards, honestly, with
The
all this,
Fulani man that lives
technology
in the
and all that.
forest, the Fulani man that lives in the bush, in the forest, in the jungle, they take delivery of their children by themselves. Who takes statistics of all those children? The madman running, how many times have they counted the number of, I mean, in the Western world, maybe it's a little bit. Nobody can get it accurately. But, in Africa,
But
no,
the reality is, for women too have a lot of conditions too, a lot of risk. Like in terms of childbearing, we have those maternal mortality rates too, that kind of drops down the number of women too. So it's not, we understand that men face more risk, and that's a higher risk of dying at some certain age, due to so many factors. But women to face their own. But I will still stand on what I said, about data until I'm able to bring in my own data, that is contrary to what, the UNDP or like this population commission comes up with. I run with that.
Okay, it's been a very long day. I think Mark too is scheduled to, I think he's going for some photography. Mark, please
Yeah,
take me along anytime you are going. So,
I hope you won't.
so can you quickly say your bye-bye before you drop down the curtain?
All right, guys, it's been a wonderful time, and I appreciate you, Val, for bringing me up again. And hopefully, we'll have to talk again if I'm invited. I love you guys, and I hope we've learned something from this edition. And hopefully, we'll be talking more about some other edition if the opportunity arises. Thank you. I love you all.
Love you
Bye.
too, and have a very great
I
day.
love it too.
Thank you so much, Mark. It's me and you now. Oremi is not here. Mark is not here. So face me
Yeah,
squarely.
so we're rounding up because I need to leave soon. So
Yeah, I mean, all of
let's
us
round up, and
program
don't try to
everywhere.
fire me because you feel the left. I know this was your plan all along. You did the same thing last week, so no, it's not gonna work this time around.
Unfortunately, we're supposed to have a guest, but I don't know. I think maybe she's indisposed or somehow. Winnie is supposed to be a part of it. Whatever has taken her taking our time. We hope that everything is okay with her. So maybe next week, there's definitely next week is going to be a different topic, and we hope that someday she'll be a part of the thing. Please, I'm begging everybody, I crave your indulgence to please share this video. Go to the YouTube, my YouTube handle, Valentine Bengala Sende. You'll see quite a number of content there. Please share. I want to also subscribe to the YouTube so that anytime we drop a new video, because as the time progresses, you're going to be seeing a lot of content on it. And please tell your friends to also watch. And please be a part of it. You can share your comment in the comment section, either Facebook or YouTube. You can always write something, and you can always make a call. The last 30 minutes, we are trying to, or 15 minutes, we'll try to just make it like a dialing time so that we can also hear your own opinion. Now, don't forget, whatever we have said here does not mean that it carries any universal acceptability. It's our own opinion, and whatever you think too can also be your opinion. So, Eniola, before you leave, what's your own opinion about this topic, finally, as we round it up today?
Yeah, so of course it's an inexhaustible topic, and I would tell you, it's really, really like a very broad one. We have talked about single parenting, divorce, career, freedom, and independence. And I think in all this, something like takes the center stage, and that's a career. Talking about the new generation women or women as a whole. All the things, one common thing that we can say is like maybe that varies according to all these other ones like the career. When a woman's career is involved, some of these dynamics change. And I would say, in my own personal opinion, issue of divorce, issue of maybe freedom and independence, maybe independent mindset. So of the woman that, I'm an independent woman, I can do it all by myself. All come, we all assume we come because of the fact that the woman is empowered by our career. So how do men make this work? There's a lot of communication that I will suggest, like go into play before even marriage, or even before any be it man or woman takes up a new career. There should be some set, okay, this is how we're going to work. How is this going to affect our home, our children, upbringing, our intimacy level? This has to be worked out from the onset. So the woman does not just go ahead and say, okay, after 9 to 5 today, next week they offer me some more shifts, I just grab it. You don't just grab it without like going back home and seeing how this is going to impact on your role, as a mother and as a wife also. So I think it's where the balance comes in. And of course, it's important for our men to take that lead. Nature abhors vacuum. If step or like fail in some of your roles, naturally the woman steps in. And if it's a woman that is already in a career where she's making money, the threat is going to really like be um would I say the threat is going to really be, it's going to be more of a threat to you. You're going to be intimidated. So try and maintain your position so that any success the woman has would be for both of you and for the success of the home. I don't still
Okay.
believe a woman going into career should be a form of intimidation for the man. The woman needs the support of the man. She needs the inspiration of the man. You understand? At the same time, the man also needs the support, the respect, submission of the wife. It has to be a two-way thing. Regardless of how
Okay.
you decide to share things in marriage, it has to be a two-way thing. So that is my own take and my opinion. Thank you once again.
Uh,
It's always great to be here.
All right, thank you so much, Eniola. And concluding the whole thing, we want to thank everybody that's been a part of this program, watching, whether even if you're not making comments. Particularly, I want to say thank you to those people who made comments. I mean, you're really spicing up. I also want to thank the participants, for the time. For me, I think it's our opinion. There's no two people that are the same. There are no two families that are the same. So none of all these topics that we are saying, none of them has any universal acceptability or acceptance. Situations will always be different, culture will always be. Even environmental factor will be one of those things to be considered when we are discussing this. Because if you look at it, there are some things that religion is involved. There are some is culture. There are some that could be some other things. So what go for the goose may not necessarily go for the gander. If if some animals are herbivorous, there are some of them that can, and all of them are animals. So this will always be very, very, very. So I want to say thank you very much for being a part of the process. Eniola, thank you so much. Oreme, thank you so much. Mark, thank you so much. And all the other contributors. I remain sincerely yours on the screen. My name once again is Valentine Bingola Sende, and I will always be your host and the producer, and we try as much as possible to make the program better. Please, if there's anything that you like about this program, don't keep it to yourself. Tell others. But if there's anything that you see that is wrong with this program, please tell us. Give us feedback. Go on the Facebook comment, or you can send personal messages to me on the WhatsApp handle. Thank you so much. It's been a very wonderful day. We have to go now because time is never on our side. Till I see you again next week for a fresh edition of the program. I say, it's your opinion. It matters. If it's my own opinion too, it matters. But don't forget, it's always an opinion. See you next week. Bye. The stories that are most important to us are stories about me, you, and others. Such stories are about politics, economy, landmark achievements, institutions, sports, and entertainment.